Alright, guys. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but at the same time, it's just so believable. Like, I shouldn't be surprised in the slightest, but Donald Trump, in the same way that a content creator on YouTube or Twitch or Rumble would, is endorsing a crypto scam. And hilariously, it's an even more shameless form of crypto scamming than the traditional kind. You're probably familiar with, like, the most standard form of crypto scam, the rug pull, the pump and dump, if you will. You, as a content creator, get reached out to by some group that's starting a crypto coin, right? And they're gonna name it, let's say, like, after you, right? Let me give a fictional example. Bumsnutsack.llc or whatever reaches out to me, okay? And they say, hey, we want to make Zan coin. It'll have your face on it, like the digital representation of it, and we're going to set it at like 0.010 cents starting price for the sake of example. And, you know, we want you to promote it, and we're going to give you this much money just up front, and we're also going to give you this many coins, right? Like before you even make your endorsement of it, right? Now, they obviously were the first to buy in on this coin. They own a ton of it. But then you buy a bunch, right? Like you get your free stuff, and maybe you buy a bunch too, because you're about to promote it if you're a content creator who takes this option, and some have, for example, Boogie2988, Andrew Tate, plenty of other content creators. Logan Paul has done this. They promote the crypto. They promote it like it's their like their life depends on it. And they put out as many incentives, tell as many lies, or imply as many things as they need to make their fans buy that coin. And as Andrew Tate himself surprisingly put it best, for anyone to win in crypto, a lot of people have to lose. And so that's exactly what happens. The people who buy in first, namely those that started the coin, secondarily the creator promoting it, they get all of the profit. They bought in at the ground floor. There is no way to not make profit at any selling point at that point, unless it drops down to starter level or below. And so what they do is they wait until things slow down or it's looking like it's reaching the peak, and they sell the starters of the crypto and the content creator or figure that's promoting it. They make a big payday. The coin immediately loses a massive chunk of its value because a lot of the value of that coin was held by those that got in on the ground floor and bought a shitload of it for cheap. They sell for a massive profit. The coin unrecoverably loses value, forcing people to panic sell and thus drop the value even more. And all those fans who decided to buy the coin and pump its value just to get it high enough for those ground floor scammers to sell lose everything, because as Andrew Tate himself said, for a few people or one person to win big at crypto, a lot of people have to lose. So, with that in mind, you might be surprised to find out that's not even the form of crypto scam that Trump is performing right now. It's similar, but, well, I'm not even going to bother explaining it. I'm going to allow someone who's far better, far more experienced and skilled at it do the explaining for me. And that's Coffeezilla, who has decided to make a video going after Trump's crypto scam. And I've only seen a bit of this. I have not really watched the whole of it, so I'm excited to see all the details. But I have looked into the story itself, and it is genuinely shameless. I don't even know if I want to spoil it, but... all right. Here's what I will give you as a hint. Trump's crypto coin doesn't even have a way for those that buy it to sell it and make money back. It is purely a purchase-only thing. A purchase to own the Trump coin. It's insane, dude. It's genuinely insane. It's basically just a donation with a fake prize in exchange, a fake currency. That isn't even a real cryptocurrency that you supposedly get in exchange. It's a level of scamming that genuinely shouldn't surprise me that Trump is willing to, stoop down to. But what I will say is, and this is some really good news, once again, more content creators, big content creators who are very much not even wanting to get involved with politics, might even lean a little bit right on some things, finding themselves basically forced to talk about how ridiculous and insane prominent conservative figures are. In this case, the fucking Republican nominee scamming his followers with a crypto scam. You can't ignore it anymore. Andrew Tate, the people, the chud grifters attacking Sonic, the attacking popular YouTubers. Like, I'm telling you guys, we are in the beginning stages of the fall of this current era of right-wing cultural dominance online. It is so tangible at this point that these people are losing it, that there is more negative will towards the right than there has been in a while, because these people have been telling on themselves a lot lately. I'm telling you, man. The right is burning itself out. At least online it is right now. It's about to go back into another sort of hibernation era, it feels like. We'll see, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just a little bump in the road for them.
We're talking about Donald Trump coin, a.k.a. World Liberty Financial. It's a disaster. They've sold 4% of the tokens.
This is the name of the coin.
After days and days of trying to sell them. Look, I didn't want to do this story. I said, look, we don't do politics on Coffeezilla, which is true. And we never will. But the scam is good on this one, guys.
See? Doesn't do politics, never will. But hey, doesn't change the fact that the Republican nominee is doing a crypto scam. Still got to talk about it. This isn't even a politically oriented video. It's just a video about how Trump is endorsing a crypto scam and is scamming his followers. Same deal as like calling out Andrew Tate, not because he's a misogynist, but because he's a scammer. And I know it's kind of cringe, like you're not going to call out the obvious, like you're not willing to get political. But yeah, it's a lot of content creators. Like, this is why the left generally suffers, is for a long time the right has been very accepting of this mindset. Oh yeah, you don't want to talk politics? All good, but hey, did you know that the left wants to force you to talk politics? And it really doesn't help that people, like, get kind of cringed out when someone says they don't want to talk politics and kind of proves the right correct on that point. Makes people who just don't want to get involved with this stuff side with the right just because it looks like that's the only way to stay out of it. And it's something the right has benefited from for a long time. So don't be so quick to shit on Coffeezilla when he is literally making a video exposing Trump for scamming his followers. Okay, just because he's not doing it for the right reasons, I guess. Like, come on.
And it's so interesting that I had to talk about it while saying and caveating that this has nothing to do with politics. I don't care what you do. Everybody grifts. It's an equal opportunity thing. So just, relax on that front. I don't want to see political comments. We could start at the announcement of World Liberty Financial Coin. That's where I was going.
Remember, guys, there's nothing political about a presidential candidate scamming his followers for every dime he can wring out of them. Nothing political at all.
On a start. But then I realized, really, to understand this whole thing, you have to go back to 2021. You have to go back to when Trump first talked about Bitcoin. And it's pretty interesting because now he's 100% behind crypto. He's going to, be the crypto first guy. But here's what he said back then.
Bitcoin, I just seems like a scam.
Oh, it was tough for the crypto bros, but they quickly forgave him.
Once again, conservative millionaires and billionaires accidentally admitting they understand the world in general when it, like, in private and when their money and their finances are on the line. But when it comes to the culture war, they pretend like they don't know these things.
When Trump started entering the world of crypto with a lot of NFT drops, he's been doing this kind of nonstop. He's done multiple. Now he launched the official Trump digital trading cards, where if you get enough of them, you can have dinner with him.
Like, it's actually wild to me that we're in a situation where there's a real chance that a crypto and NFT scammer, rapist, or I should say sexual assaulter, as decided by the court. He can't even sue me for saying that. Or at least if he did, I'd still win. And alleged pedophile might end up being the next president again, like reelected into the position. A NFT crypto scamming, sexual assaulting, alleged pedophile, and friend of Jeffrey Epstein.
And get sneakers. You get 2 gold sneakers if you buy 9 digital trading cards for only $1,000 or $900. Now, that's probably where a lot of people's education on the Trump crypto wagon ends, but it's worth stating that his family has also engaged in a lot of crypto stuff. I only mention that because multiple of the family members are
Dude, Trump's family is like, God, they're like wealthy white trash is really the only way to put it. I don't know if like the term white trash is considered racist or whatever. I assume it's considered racist against white people, and I don't care if they get offended at me. I'm one of them. But yeah, like they're like rich white trash is really the best way to put it, you know? Like there's no like class or shame or anything, but they fake it because they've got so much wealth. But like their personality and behaviors are like they fit in more in a trailer park than in like the high skyscrapers of New York City.
Listed on this project. So, for example, Barron Trump was allegedly involved in DJT. This coin has since rug pulled, unfortunately.
No. White trash is not a race and class thing. White trash is a mindset, my friend. Trust me, Wingo. You're from Florida, you know. White trash isn't about your class. It's not even about your race, really. It's white trash is a mindset. It's an idea.
Fortunately, for about $4 to $5 million, depending on your source. There are some insiders in the coin who are very upset that told me that. I myself traced about $3 million, so that number seems about right to me. So that's bad. That's bad to be associated with that coin. But then you've also got Donald Trump Jr., who was involved in Restore the Republic.
Of course.
That coin immediately dumped because basically there was a tweet like, oh, you don't know what the real Trump coin is. That's not the real Trump coin. I don't know exactly what happened here, but basically it sounds like they got involved and then backed up at the last second. Pump and dump allegations were made of a few $1 million in that coin too. So basically it's been disaster after disaster after NFT drop.
And conveniently, the Trump family just keeps making money off of it. Must just be a lot of convenient accidents for them, though, you know? Must just be accidents. Can't get too biased or political with it. It must just be accidents, guys.
Leading up to World Liberty Financial. But this has been the promise of the new great thing that was going to be like the Donald Trump coin. Here we go. Here's the pitch.
Big news. The World Liberty Financial token sale is now live. Crypto is the future. Let's embrace this incredible technology and lead the world in digital economy.
Okay.
You know what's so wild about that? Because he's reading from a teleprompter. Trump, there's two different types of Trump. There's like Trump reading a script, and there's Trump just talking off cuff. And man, Trump talking off cuff is noticeable, recognizable. The Trump that you know and love, the Trump you think of when you think of Trump talking. But Trump reading from a teleprompter or a script is like, it feels like an AI video. There's no way that is an AI. Exactly, that's what I said. It like feels like an AI video, but this is real. Like Trump has endorsed this World Liberty Financial coin. That's not even an actual crypto you can trade to sell or use as a currency. It's actually literally just a fake. It's effectively a fake crypto being used as a front to solicit donations for the Trump campaign. That's effectively what this is.
Let's embrace it. Let's see what they got. So you go to their web.
Oh, and in case you're curious, Elon Musk has been running a daily $1 million giveaway that he has fulfilled. There has been random Republicans selected at rallies in swing states where if you're a Republican in a swing state and you can prove that you registered to vote Republican, then every day, one of the people who does that gets $1 million. Elon Musk is literally daily, up until the election, bribing $1 million a day to a random person who registers Republican and just basically all but gives proof they voted for Trump. So far, there's been like 4 or 5 Trump supporters that have won $1 million from Elon. They like receive the check on stage and everything. Like the Republicans are literally, I will pay you if you vote for me. Please vote for me. That is how far they have stooped.
Website, and they ask you, are you a U.S. citizen or not? You click yes or no, and then they have you buying tokens at a set price.
That cannot be legal. A lot of experts are coming out to say it's not. The Republicans are arguing tooth and nail that it is, but trust me, there will not be any legal consequences to catch up with him anytime close enough to the election for it to matter. nor will it be severe enough consequences for it to matter after the election. And if it is, if Trump wins, then Trump will pardon Elon like day one.
This is very strange, very unusual, and to set your own price like this. And it's, I think, because they're grifting, bro.
And then after pardoning him, hire him as he's promised. Because remember, if Trump wins, Elon's getting hired into a government position in his administration. So Elon's going to be a high-ranking position in government if Trump wins as well. So it's not just going to be Trump wins, but Elon also wins his election, basically, too. That he's not going to be elected into. Oh, no? Oh, you guys haven't been watching my videos, huh? Oh, yeah. Trump is promising Elon position in his administration. So if Trump wins, we get Elon running the country, too.
They set their initial price for what they're trying to sell. They're trying to sell $300 million of these tokens off rip. We know that because they have 20 billion coins all selling for $0.015 each. Okay. Now, very few projects ever even reach a valuation of $300 million. So you might be surprised. You might think, well, maybe if their tech's amazing, like,
this might also be Trump attempting to commit fraud, by the way. If Trump can get a few hundred people to buy his coin at a set price, and he owns a bunch of it, then he can generally find an agreement that the coin is worth that much, like every single unit of that coin is worth the amount that people have been willing to pay for it because he set that price for it, and then he can sell it at that price. And this is fraud, by the way. Like, this is through and through 100% fraud. But he would be able to sell it at that essentially market manipulated price. And actually, it might not be fraud because it's crypto. The only reason this might not be fraud is because it's crypto. For a fact, this is fraud if you do it with shares of a company. But with crypto, it may be legal in the same way where Elon market manipulates the crypto market with shitcoins that he's invested in, which is illegal if you do the exact same thing one-to-one, but it's shares instead of coins, crypto coins. It might just be not fraud because it's crypto and not regulated yet. He's going to take you guys out of the USD and the Trump coin and give us the Trump coin as the national currency. Yeah, that would be a fucking nightmare, but no, I think his goal here is to commit fraud by forcing people to agree to pay a ridiculous price for each unit of the coin, to have financial I forget, what is the role? It's not a financial advisor. There's a specific person with the role of deeming assets of a certain value and thus agreeing to sign off on the stated value of the total worth of what assets you have, in this case being Trump's ownership of however much of his coin. If he can prove to that advisor, yeah, this is how much the coin is worth, they'll sign off on it, and he could scam someone into buying his crypto coin, the amount that he has, for that amount per unit, per coin. And an appraiser might be the term, I'm not sure. And that's massively fraud if you do it with a company. Don't know if they do it with crypto, though. So I don't know if that's what Coffeezilla thinks Trump is doing, but I think that's what Trump is doing as well. Obviously, Trump's going to make money up front off of this and already has, but I think a lot of this is Trump planning to fake set a value for the coin that isn't real,
But for a brand new company to be raising at that price just kind of doesn't make sense. But then you realize it gets even worse when you go to their white paper, which they call the gold paper, of course, where they say that they're only selling 35% of the total token supply. So what that means is that it's not actually that they're raising at $300 million. They're actually raising it closer to $1 billion valuation from the start on an unknown project with nobody.
I might be fully fucking right. I think Trump is doing exactly what I said. I think I'm completely right, guys. It's only 30% of the entire amount of the coin that exists that's being sold. They're just selling as much as they can to prove that it's supposedly worth this much. So Trump, with the other 70% of the coin, and those that started the coin as well with the other 70% of the coin, can sell it at an inflated value. Mind you, reminder, this is blatant, immediately you're cuffed fraud. if you do this with with like shares, like stock shares in a company, like immediately. Yeah.
What does this project do? Nobody knows. And so immediately, that's one reason that...
How can there be a limited amount of crypto? This is so confusing. When you make your crypto coin, you set a total cap on the amount of units there can be. So like Bitcoin, for example, the second Bitcoin started being a thing, there was a set amount of Bitcoin that could ever exist. And the more time that passes, because so many of the total amount of possible Bitcoins have been mined, mining Bitcoins gets harder and harder every day, because that final Bitcoin might even take as much as the last 99.9% of Bitcoins every other Bitcoin before took to mine. And it might take the effort of like thousands of people collectively mining fractions of that Bitcoin. So there was a time when it first was a thing when mining like a crypto, when it was very, very new, was easier. You could mine a coin a day at one point, I'm sure. And over time, it got to be like arguably more expensive to run the power to keep a Bitcoin mining rig going than to mine Bitcoin and make profit. Like you couldn't make profit anymore. And that's why people don't really mine Bitcoin anymore. But yeah, that's how that works. There's like a set cap, and it gets harder to produce more of it for like ownership in a wallet so that it can be traded or sold. The closer to that cap people get in unlocking the amount that exists. Probably not the best explanation, but hopefully that made that cap thing make sense.
They didn't sell almost any coins. Well, relative to their actual raise. They've so far sold about $13 million of these coins, which, yeah, is something. But compared to what they're trying to raise is nothing. And for a Donald Trump, like, this is the coin thing, it's definitely disappointing, I would think, for them.
How does crypto mining work? In modern day, you dedicate the core of your GPU to running a bunch of nonstop complex calculations, which are what the bits of the crypto, like crypto coins are literally just a string of data, just an encrypted string of data. And you get pieces of that encrypted string of data. The more processing power from your PC, you volunteer to mine the coin. I believe that Bitcoin mining is actually like your computer is doing work, like for someone. Like it's not just doing it for the sake of doing it. I think there's like a purpose to what it is doing, but as it does it, in return, you get coins. I've never mined any like crypto coins, so I don't fully understand it, but that's the general gist of it. And it's very bad for the environment.
But then you have by far the biggest problem with this whole coin. All the tokens that you're going to buy are non-transferable and locked indefinitely in a wallet or smart contract, which is insane. There's almost no token like this that you can buy. All tokens are transferable. And it's not even, what is it if it's not transferable? It just means you can't even sell it. Like,
it's a front. It's either or both of these two things. A way for Trump to commit fraud in the way I described before, or it is essentially a front to convince people to donate to Trump's campaign and think they're getting something in return. Something that presumably is also fraud.
Well, what does that even mean? It's non-transferable. So I guess they probably did that for SEC reasons. They don't want any SEC problems. But at that point, you're not really selling tokens. Like, you're not selling a crypto as most people understand crypto. It's almost like you're selling, I don't even know. Even
nothing.
You can sell NFTs. This is so weird. When I saw this, I was like, what? And then you go to the actual thing. You go to their team, and you find out that Donald Trump is not even the main guy. Like, this is not, for all the talk about it being his project,
there's got to be some layers of separation.
They are the ambassadors, which, obviously is just a way to pull away your liability.
It's the exact same thing as endorsement from a content creator, by the way. With that, like when, say, for example, Boogie2988 was offered to shill the Fatty coin, shitcoin, the crypto scam that he scammed his audience with, that he was an ambassador of the coin. It basically means that, like, you're not behind its existence, but you are associated with, an endorser of, and profiting from its existence. And almost certainly, from the start, they've had a base level payout of the cryptos so that they could eventually sell it to someone. I don't even know what their plan is to sell it. I guess Trump would sell it privately to try to make his massive profit after people agree to buy it at that set price.
Right? I'm not actually the project itself. They say they're just ambassadors. And if you read the fine print, they have an endorsement deal with World Liberty Financial. And part of that endorsement deal is like a 5-year deal where they have to promote it. And if they promote it, they get 75% of all the profits that this whole thing makes. So they make all the profits, basically, like most of the profits. But then they actually don't, they don't have a lot of the liability, which, you know, I get why they did that. But if I'm someone looking at this, I'm thinking, oh, no.
Oh, more than a few Hollywood personalities have absolutely been doing these crypto scams as well. It's become a big thing in the realm of music as well. Some pretty beloved music artists, if you might not even know about it if you just listen to their music and don't follow them, but some pretty beloved music artists have gotten into scamming their fans with crypto and NFTs. There was this big trend where people were actually more vigilant about it. Like, oh, no, this band is getting into NFTs. No, I love this music artist. Oh, man. Well, now I'm having that moment. Apparently, Snoop Dogg got into crypto and NFTs. Dude. Yeah, man. It seems like that, boomer Gen X range of celebrities jumped on crypto fast, bro. Like, immediately.
Oh, like, your token's not transferable, raised at like over $1 billion or around $1 billion valuation, which is insane. Then you've got a project where the guy can just back out after 5 years and is not really even like the guy behind this whole thing. So then you go, well, who is behind this? And so you got to look at their founders. So their founders are a lot of, you know, people I don't recognize on here personally for being crypto people, except for this guy, Chase Hero. Now, if that name is familiar to you, it's because
not to me.
He has been featured on Coffeezilla before.
Yo, Ben.
Okay.
We need some more of these Kobe's.
Please, bro.
No shot. One of the people involved in Trump's crypto scam is also the dude that helps Jake Paul and Logan Paul do their crypto scams. I mean, it makes sense because Logan and Jake Paul are Trump supporters, and I think they've met Trump and, like, shook his hand and stuff. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm telling you, the douchiest, massivest pieces of shit on all of the internet all know each other. Both, like, IRL and on the internet. The worst people you know, they're all buddies. They have, like, a cabal of shithead, wealthy assholes whose entire business model is making people worse and encouraging people to give them money for being awful. That's the real cabal behind the scenes, yeah.
Please, EOD.
Not Jews, just douchebags, rich douchebags.
If possible.
Yep.
Because we have an episode going tomorrow where we talk very highly of Omi, and I wouldn't be surprised if that caused some traction.
Not exactly a great look. Now, besides doing that, Chase Hero, I have come to learn from a fantastic Bloomberg feature article, that Chase was also involved with Doe Finance, which got hacked for about $2 million. But probably the best thing you can learn about Chase Hero is kind of what he says himself about marketing, because it'll give you a good idea of what this project is kind of all about.
And you can literally sell shit in a can, wrapped in piss, covered in human skin for $1 billion if the story's right.
Wait, what? Did he just describe?
He just explained his entire business in a sentence. That's crazy.
World Liberty Financial? Because that's what this is. It's just using a narrative to try to sell something for $1 billion that is garbage. So this is the guy that's behind the Donald Trump coin. I mean, the actual, like, co-founder, one of the co-founders, that's what he says.
Oh, Logan interviewed Trump on his podcast. That's what I was remembering. Yeah, that's why I have this, like, mental picture of them sitting together. Yeah, they're like buddies, basically.
There's a lot of other people involved. But anytime you have a guy like that in your project, it's trouble, at least in my opinion. So when you go down, you kind of figure out how they're structuring some of this stuff. You have DT Marks DeFi LLC, which sounds basically like the Donald Trump team. And they're going to provide services to World Liberty Financial. In exchange, they're going to get 22 billion World Liberty Financial tokens at a right to receive 75% of the net protocol revenues. So they're basically getting the lion's share of the deal for, endorsing this whole thing.
Wait, no. I am literally completely right about what this is. This is just crypto fraud. He's literally doing what I just described. Trump is holding 70-something%, or getting a cut of that 70-something% of the crypto. They are basically only offering the crypto with no ability to trade it so that the price can't fluctuate. They're only allowing purchases. It's locked in at a set price. So it's forced to rise up to that price because so many people will agree to pay it. Trump can get it appraised at that amount, can sell it privately after 5 years when he's paid out his, we'll assume 40% of the crypto. It goes from being worth nothing to being worth whatever bullshit it's worth per coin, $1.10 or something. And he makes a massive payout, possibly billions, because the cap they put on this crypto, the amount in total coins that there are. He could actually pull out of this with this fraud. He could make billions off of this fraud. I legitimately think that's what he's doing. Mind you, you'd be in jail within a month if you tried to do this, with a company. If you tried to start your own company, set it at 10 billion trillion shares, force people, go around and get, your friends to pay $5 or $10 per share, and then try and sell your trillion billion shares for $10 each. You could try to do that, but even trying to sell it for that much, even though it would technically be right, it's fraud. The government would know what you're doing. You'd be investigated. You would be tried and probably go to prison for fraud. Frogan's been banned? Holy shit.
You have to ask, though, if these tokens are non-transferable, why give them so many tokens? And doesn't that defeat the
That's why. Wait, does Coffeezilla not know about this method of fraud? It's very straightforward. It's extremely straightforward. Dude, get me in contact with Coffeezilla. I can let him know exactly what the plan is here, because that's what the fuck he is doing. That's why 70% of the coins aren't available for sale. No trading is allowed, so the price can't fluctuate. They are setting the price artificially so that in 5 years, Trump can get paid out a bunch of the coins, sell it privately, and make a massive payout. It's fraud. It's just crypto, so our laws haven't caught up yet.
Purpose of this DAO? I mean, actually, to be clear, this thing is explicitly not a DAO, but it's supposedly decentralized, meaning nobody controls it. But they kind of do. You've got the majority of the supply with insiders, or at least a large chunk of it.
It's just a loophole.
Which means that you will be able to shape the vote. If this token is just about governance of a protocol.
It's a loophole so the SEC doesn't shut them down before the election has even happened.
Whoa. You control it from the start. So it's not really decentralized at all. So now it's not transferable. It's not decentralized. It's overpriced. And it's got people, and I'm talking about all the people we've talked about so far, who have been involved in projects which have been rug pulled, hacked, pump and dumped. It's like the list is terrible, okay? And that's all before we get to what this project even does. As I said, this is a governance token for a protocol, but what is that protocol? Well, come to find out,
what that means.
It's decentralized lending and borrowing, something that has been around forever in crypto. There are established, actually decentralized protocols that do it. And when you read closer, it basically looks like they're going to take the tech stack that exists and just copy it. Because World Liberty Financial, this is a proposal on something called Aave, which is the decentralized lending protocol, and they're trying to deploy a World Liberty Financial Aave instance focused on providing stablecoin liquidity for ETH and wrapped Bitcoin and growing the Aave protocol user base. So World Liberty Financial, their big thing, this is what they're pricing at $1 billion, trying to raise $300 million. What they're saying is, we're going to bring a few customers to an existing tech that has always been around and doesn't.
That's definitely not what their end game is. Obviously, they want to get their own crypto network more attention, but it's a crypto scam at the end of the day. It's not going to get positive attention. Guarantee you, through and through, 5 years from now, Trump ends up making billions out of nowhere, and we're all like, how the fuck did Trump become $3 billion richer? What the fuck happened? And this is why. Guarantee you, this is why.
Need help. And make it worse. Make it less decentralized. Make it, not be able to sell your tokens. I mean, it is absolutely insane. And look, you might be right to say, hey, this just sounds like a complicated way to just accept a lot of donations. Because they did take in $13 million. And I would agree with you, but there's kind of this weird thing. So this is the weird one. In the paragraph 15, look, I don't mean to be that guy, but paragraph 15 says after payment of pre-launch development and transaction expenses, $30 million of World Liberty Financial Protocol revenues, including token sale proceeds, is expected to be reserved for pay for future World Liberty Financial Protocol operating and other expenses for contingent obligations.
Those are the coins. That's Trump's payout right there. That's Trump's base payout. Not even counting what he's going to make off of selling all those coins in 5 years. Jesus Christ.
So
that's just taking the money that's being given to them for the coin, by the way.
Earmarked $30 million.
That's not even the big payout. That's not even that's just like the appetizer before the big main course of scammed money from Trump's followers.
Out the gate. So as like a donation theory thing that kind of shoots that, because it sounds like none of that money is going to go directly to Trump. It's actually going to be set aside for this protocol, if you believe that, to develop the protocol, which is kind of a fork of a thing. It's fishy for sure. But that's what I'm saying. I was just like, it doesn't even make sense from that angle. This is such a disaster through and through that I have noticed recently that this little banner popped up. I hadn't seen that the first time I joined the site. I mean, maybe it was always there. I don't know. It says inspired by Donald Trump, which sounds like the kind of thing you put on something when you're trying to distance yourself from it. You know, you're like, oh, this is my project. And then, when it kind of starts flopping, you go, well, it was inspired by me. It's important that those guys really, took inspiration from my leader.
Listen, guys, when someone is involved with something completely clean, not shady at all, with absolutely no legal ramifications associated with it, it is very common for prominent people involved to disassociate themselves as much as possible and build as many layers of separation between them and it as they can. Super normal and not suspicious at all.
Leadership. So it looks like they're probably going to slowly start distancing themselves from that project.
Yeah.
I'm sure we won't hear a lot more about it now that there's been such a lukewarm response, and understandably so. It's actually refreshing to see how few people, 14 million, but few people relative to the actual pre-sale bought this thing, because
14 million dumb fucks bought this coin. I need you to understand, when I say NPCs are real and they're Trump supporters with their canned dialogue, their literal game NPC predictable behavior and actions, it's like, is there even a sentient human brain? Is there a soul inside of these people that they see Trump coin and they're like, buy? It in the number of 14 million. Jesus Christ. I'm telling you guys, NPCs are real, and ironically, it's the right that seem to be the NPCs, considering they're the ones that basically invented that as an insult. It's literally a description of themselves. They flocked to buy Trump's scam crypto coin that they can't even trade or sell to make a profit off of. Spectacular, dude. I don't even feel bad for them because they're Trump supporters and, they fell for his scam again. That's what they do when they support him. So I'm not really surprised, nor do I feel bad for them. It's just like, really? And those people are still going to vote for him. They'll never admit they got punked. They're too proud to admit that Trump punked them.
If this thing had sold out, I would have been depressed for a year, I think. So, yeah, that's basically it. That's the rundown on World Liberty Financial. If you want to know more about Chase Hero specifically, Bloomberg did do a great deep dive into him. You can find that here at this article. Huh. In fact, you'll even see that we made an appearance in the story. And yeah, that's basically it. Today we're talking about Donald Trump coin, aka.
Anyway, that is the Coffeezilla video. Really good takedown of the situation. A pretty centrist one, but I actually think that's more valuable than even a takedown from me because, I occasionally reach a conservative or centrist audience, especially lately. I've gotten a lot of comments from people who say they're conservative and watch my content, even if they don't agree with everything I have to say, because I call out, the anti-woke grifters, and even right-wing viewers are starting to notice it and get annoyed by it. Regardless, though, my audience in relation to normies isn't all that wide. I don't have as much normie appeal as someone like Coffeezilla does. I don't have as much normie appeal as someone like Actman does. People who are actively being pulled, arguably against their own will, into calling out and fighting with these large, prominent conservative figures because they've gotten so comfortable with grifting that they're not hiding it anymore. They're bragging about it. And content creators who, even if they don't want to get involved in politics, but their job is still to call out assholes exploiting people on the platform, they're being put into positions where they've got to do it. Sometimes they're even the ones getting called out, and they have to respond and defend themselves from insane allegations of wokeness. I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. We are entering an age of right-wing culture war shit falling the fuck off. It's cannibalizing itself. Anyway, guys, with that said, if you enjoyed this segment, you found it enjoyable, educational, or even entertaining, then please consider leaving a like. It's totally free, and every single thumbs up pushes my content in the algorithm out to more new viewers to help boost it out to new content stuff. It just basically raises my sub counts and helps everything across the board, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. You can also subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications so that YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video, because if you don't, they won't. And you can follow my social medias, linked down below in the description of the stream, to see more stuff from me on other platforms as well, including joining my fan Discord, linked down below too. It is the main hub of my community and fan base. It's totally free to join, and I host game events, call-in streams, and watch parties there every week. And on top of that, I announce all my new uploads and streams there, so at least if YouTube bugs out, you'll know the Discord will still work. Finally, if you want to support me directly, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying merch to the Streamlabs link down below. But regardless of how you support me, even if you're a lurker and you're just chilling out watching the stream, thank you so much, and I hope to see you again.